Talk about that earlier today. And then the hippo back there, I love.
That's awesome. I love it.
Hey, everybody. And then we have
Hello. Hey, Patricia, I can't wait to hear this update. Like, I have been waiting.
So we're at the Johnson Filling Station. I'm another guy who's going to yeah,
You do. At home.
I would love to do that with the art.
We got a kegerator just for a PBR keg.
And I have a PBR refrigerator.
That's good. You're welcome.
And then, you know, so listen, there's lots to talk about today. We've been like gone for like a couple of weeks since we've been in Palm County. Not as the little parent, but as
The rest of
the hippos are ridiculous.
Me?
I had a big friend from Palm Beach 2 weeks ago.
What happened?
I had a big friend of mine from Palm Beach 2 weeks ago.
Like you drove all the way down there?
Yeah, they were stranded because they were supposed to be picked up by this one party bailed on them, and they were stuck at their hotel with no means of getting back to Orlando. So the nice guy drove down to Palm Beach, picked them up, and came back. And
How did he pay?
yeah, they spent the entire drive from Palm Beach out back to Orlando just throwing up in a public street.
Oh.
So you got no road.
No road. Yeah. And then
Grass.
I blew it my chance before, but like,
I would go.
you would just go throw it.
Well, I've got some of it. I can eat you something else, buddy.
He's got a very good enough for us.
Speaking about small, there is a that you can take. It's a supplement.
Yeah.
What's the supplement called?
Vinegar.
What is it supposed to do?
Makes it smell like, it tastes like.
Oh man.
What?
I've been. I'm gonna
How
tell
to
you.
increase testosterone?
I have been needing to make sure.
Is that in you?
That a double stack.
Oh, yeah, no, I believe it's so good. It tastes like it's delicious.
He's been eating a lot of pancakes lately.
Only.
Oh, there's a bunch of
That's. You don't need nothing else.
I know you can fit that way.
I mean, guys can taste it. You're saying guys can do it.
Jason, you like it?
I love maple syrup.
Oh, baby.
Absolutely.
You don't have a thing with the maple syrup. Maybe that is that.
Just a little bit of fenugreek.
So it doesn't cross.
It does a lot of different things. Like when I first learned about fenugreek, it increases breast supply for nursing homes, but it also increases. No, neither do I. Yeah, I know. He used to have cooking company that did that. But it also helps with like sex drive, and it helps with like clarity to your brain and a lot of
You can help with sex drive and clarity for your brain.
Yeah.
What?
one.
You know,
You still haven't been paid. Better than I did.
so listen, let me just stop you.
Fenugreek.
To grandma home. Was the grandma of the original.
Right.
Oh, my.
So,
We have you already.
Well, maybe they should.
Absolutely.
Grandma home.
Grandma homework. We could never get pregnant.
That is illegal.
Probably. You probably bring that together.
Breaking up some So, lots to talk about today, but it's just other, you know, what happened. Brady's got a 1 minute PPP up today.
In 30 seconds.
I'm gonna put it this.
And you just limited it to 30 seconds. It's like 15 minutes for everybody else.
You're welcome.
I've been up there and I
You're gonna tell them about when we went up with
I think you guys had sex and I didn't know.
what?
That was a snoring.
But let me tell you what, you know, this is the thing that I have to watch. It's the enthusiasm of somebody like, you know, sit there and actually learn it and sit there and, you know, just write it down. So I relate to them for like a couple days, then go back and learn go stuff like that.
I was like, how do you like it?
Yeah. And but the enthusiasm is very awesome. And then, you know, when you go over and you do things, you know, fixing things on the fly, it's pretty cool, man. I really enjoy it. Yeah, but it was cool. I did think the biggest change is that like Brady is actually doing the study guide as a thought. So organizing the thought is like
Yes. Yes.
pretty awesome. So that's pretty cool. So it's good we got there.
Maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So Palm can come on. Very nice.
They're awesome. Yeah.
There.
Nice.
Smart.
Yes.
yeah.
A real one.
Me neither. Me neither.
You can't be associated with Germany.
Right.
Oh, God. You could eat off that hanger.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gerard. He was a man.
And he's from Virginia.
That was
I love
awesome.
how he was doing like his own,
Yeah.
while we were there.
You know what? So,
He did the candy.
They were
Candy.
Nice.
So you went to that. Got a bunch of kids, brought them back to
Yeah,
Let me tell you something.
you did a great job. Yeah.
And you know,
Did he show him the salad video?
That would be nice. But you know, here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand this, they want to make sure. The African American community, the swimming isn't,
No.
nobody uses it. Why is that? I don't know, there's no swimming. A lot of people, you know, like people from the, and this dude is doing food coordination, ocean lifeguard, something like that.
Yeah,
Which is rare to see.
it is.
Yeah.
We were talking about.
Yeah, it's awesome that it's doing this, you know, he's driving 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you have to go to South Florida,
Yeah.
to take them back.
Yeah.
That's awesome, commendable, and I'm glad that it's happening.
Absolutely.
Man, swimming is a gift.
Yeah.
Swimming is a gift that's more naturally with, somebody has to unlock that box for you and put you in the water. Every time I watch this talk,
A little bit of it.
it's gonna have to be full away.
We celebrate. We had listen.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
You would say that.
You got it. We're good.
I would say the nicest.
Yeah.
Thank you, so,
I think those kids would have tried.
I'm
Yeah.
If you would have let them try this, I was like, you guys want to try? They're like, really? I'm like,
So many good.
I know.
Trish was awesome. The funniest thing that Trish did was when we were trying to flip the simulator over, she's like, go to the shallow end. We're like, no, we're men, we can do it. And we're struggling, and they were like, yeah, let's go to shallow end. Trish said, okay.
It's hard to feel the detail.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cheers.
So, hey, we have some news updates, and we'll get into.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. It's gonna be amazing.
there I am.
Yeah.
There I am. And I get a message from the United States. Maybe on German espionage.
I feel like the council.
And they basically send me a picture of a Mexican and German whale watcher. And the meeting in the role.
Yeah, so it's funny. The only one that was the council reached out to everyone in the circle.
Yeah.
And I go out to see with my dad. And then here's the thing.
We're good.
We've been talking for the past few
Why?
You keep Brazilian.
So,
Shit on your chest.
we didn't see each other here and there. There's a little bit of things that we're still trying to solve, but we're getting through it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
There's still a lot of people trying to figure out things that
But no, we thought that I actually had a show cancel last minute. So I didn't know what to do. So you want to go to SeaWorld? I got to go to SeaWorld. So we ended up going to SeaWorld. And she mentioned to me, like, you know, you would see each other for quite some time. You should make it public. And I mean, you know what, you're right. Maybe it was in the air or
the whale semen.
The whale semen,
Yeah.
going up my nose.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and posted that photo of us at SeaWorld. And Carlos, I shit you not, within like 5 minutes, my phone is blowing up. My DMs, my Snapchats. I got a freaking letter by Falcon.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, "What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? What the?" Like, yeah, it was.
The hippo cut his hair because of this.
Yeah, you did.
Jason cut his hair because of
I
this.
issued it out to the entire company.
Yes.
And yeah, we're seeing each other. We're back together. but
Has there been any punches to the face or anything like
no,
that?
none that
So what are we gonna do when
Yeah.
she detaches your retina? What?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well,
I said when.
Are you,
I didn't say
are you
if.
back to the dirty stuff, or you start straight missionary?
no, we're back to the dirty stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has
I
anybody?
will say my favorite thing though is today when you were on the phone with Carlos, he did say that of all the phone calls he's gotten about it, it was the most educational.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
So I've gotten, I have a tally right now, Carlos, and you are number 19, you were number 20.
Yes.
And with the laughter in the background, which I thought was Trish, I was like, well, that's 21.
21. Yeah.
But it was actually your birthday buddy right there that was
Yeah.
just laughing at my my depression and my anxiety right there.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've gotten I've had like 3 ex-girlfriends call me.
Oh yeah. The Jewish community is completely against this. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that's going on here. You know, it's like, you know, like, you know, few million, you know, Holocaust survivors are out there going like, this is not good.
I will.
Podcast right now.
Well, no, the numbers actually went up. Awesome. The numbers went up.
They're waiting for you to be a Dateline special.
Oh,
Yes, and we're just concerned about your safety.
Yes.
Well, I'm sharing my location with my attorney
Yes.
Thank God.
At all times.
and a Brazilian. Actually, now that I think about it,
Oh,
my,
man.
my
Don't
friend,
do that.
my
Don't
friend
do that.
Adriana and my friend Carlos both have my location shared 24/7. So I have a Colombian and a Venezuelan making sure I'm okay. A Colombian and a Brazilian making sure I'm okay.
Man,
The
I'm
Brazilian will sell you out.
yeah, but to Braley spent days today, like time that is never gonna get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this, you know what I mean? This is crazy.
How many fingers am I holding up?
I don't know. I
4.
had a retinal detachment. It looks like 80.
Yeah. So, but you know, man, like, listen, dude, good luck to you, man. I guess.
I appreciate it.
You know, the over and under right now is not on your side.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But may the odds ever be in your favor.
Yeah. This can only work out great.
Look, I don't know if it's because I'm an agent of chaos or I just hate myself or whatever it is.
Oh
We'll see what happens. I'll come back, in about a month, and if I actually make it, we'll celebrate.
Fill me in, but if not,
I feel like we're gonna need like every other day updates just so we can make
Yeah.
sure. 'Cause I was gonna say weekly, but I think that's too long.
You feel that's too long?
We
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
know
that's-
that you're still alive.
I feel like it changes on the daily.
Well, I mean, you guys see me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook every day.
Yeah, but
So.
it could be scheduled.
yeah.
Wow, you are right. I do
Hey.
schedule a lot.
I know.
Unless you're holding up a newspaper, with,
Yes.
we need signs of life every time you do it.
We're gonna check with your boss every day.
I appreciate it.
Hey, did Patricia show up today?
If she wants to know how much salt water you can drink, just run.
Yeah. Braley has been studying his gas laws, which he haven't gotten the gas law we were talking about before we went on the air, huh?
There's only so many.
It's fucking you up in it.
I know. I forgot what you said. I was drinking.
Oh yeah, it's not boils.
Boils.
Yeah, it's
Henry's.
not.
Charles.
The beauty.
Gay Lusac.
No.
Oh, I think it's
Gay Big Sack.
The beauty.
It could be enemy.
It's so fucking funny that you could like just mention all the gas laws and still not get the right one.
I don't even remember.
Oh, the Advogard.
Yeah,
How do you know what you were asking for?
it's grams.
But
I forgot.
with that being
Who's
said,
Like
Carlos,
graham crackers?
Yes.
Sublimation happens with
with
grams. though.
that being said, I have to make a proper exit. I just wanted to come by because you and I had a good conversation. And I miss you guys too.
Hey man.
I gotta go give away some vibrators and dildos.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, come on out. I'll be there till 11 o'clock giving away cool stuff.
What we got?
Battery or
Do you
charge?
really need one?
Another one.
So we can go hang out at Patricio's, or you can
Yeah,
go
and
to
we,
medicine.
and we give
do you
discounts to first responders.
Oh. Do you want medicine or go to Patricio's?
I look like.
Okay. Patricio, you're out.
I appreciate it. Well, let me do a quick plug. Check me out on with us at chaos.com for all the podcasts and all the great shit that I do. Also, check me out on Real Laughs Monday and Tuesday this week coming up on Real Radio 104.1.
Oh man, this it is. It's real. Love you, Patricio. Always a fan, man.
Be safe.
Yeah, don't die.
Don't die.
And if you do it in a really good manner, so it's a good case, so I can get on Dateline. Man, I've been wanting to get on some Dateline, dude.
It's gonna happen between the two of them.
Oh yeah, between Patricio and Braley, I'm pretty sure that I will be getting on it.
For sure.
So, Braley,
Yes.
you have a lesson, don't you?
Hold on, you're not
I did.
following the plan.
Oh, sorry, birthday buddy.
I
What we
made
got?
a whole plan.
Give me the plan. What we got next?
I mean, we gotta skip the Urban Dictionary word because she just left.
Yeah.
Can you bring the microphone?
But I need it to like shrink.
Oh, there it is right there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the fans of Birthday Buddy's tits out there today, shirt is not Rescue Company
I'm
approved.
sorry.
Yeah.
It is a V-neck.
Yeah. So we
It's
need
not
more
the
It's
right
tits.
DP.
one, I'm sorry.
DP.
So what we got?
I've been out of practice. You've been gone for 2 weeks.
I know.
I didn't even have to get dressed all day.
Later, buddy.
So upcoming dates, we
Oh,
are
yes.
going to Austin, Texas for Echo,
We are.
August 15th through 17th. Been a little bit of cluster, but we will be there.
We will be there.
We're
Not from the Echo people. Just
No,
on
no,
our
no,
end.
no,
Yes,
no, no.
absolutely.
On our end, traveling and
Yes.
other things that we
Yeah, great job.
We're doing some water egress training in Broward at the end of August.
Yes, sure are.
We are hosting a paramedic and EMT refresher here in Orlando on
Yes, we are.
September 26th
Yes, we
through
are.
the 30th.
And you know what's different here is that it's not your let's sit here and go over shit. We're going to do some different things.
Yes,
Mhm.
hands-on stuff,
There's going to
skills.
be what have yous, whatnots.
Whatnots.
Yes, absolutely. Hippos.
Cameras.
There's hippos and
There's Braley.
cameras and Brady's and all kinds of things. Bleeders.
Oh, yeah.
For people who really that be bleeding.
Yeah.
You know, real live action.
Don't do that stuff anywhere else.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Then we also have air medical the end of October, starting actually this time on a Sunday until Friday,
Yes.
The date?
October 30th through November 4th.
Is Trauma Hawk coming?
Mhm.
Yep, we just got back from 2 weeks in Palm Beach, doing air medical with the Hawk guys.
Yes.
Everybody loved that class. I heard
Dr.
great
Shepke.
things.
Dr. Shepke's people.
Mhm.
And then we can move into some news.
Oh.
We've had some, we're going to hold off on the details of it for a little
Yes.
bit later, but we've
Yeah.
had two pretty significant helicopter crashes in the last couple weeks. One in Alabama, one in Ohio. And then a super interesting story that I saw on the news just yesterday was murder suicide of a family of 5 here in our area.
Yes.
The news says it's a middle-aged couple, and allegedly the father killed his wife and his 3 kids, ages 22, 11, and 7.
That's, you know, man, I don't understand it. You want to kill yourself, man. You want to take out the people around you.
Yeah. The part I find disturbing is that all of the articles I read said that they can't confirm that the firearm they found on scene was the cause of death for everyone. So they're waiting for the medical examiner to release official cause of death for the father.
So there's some unknown.
So there's some unknown still going there.
You know, man, I just don't understand harming people, your children. Jesus
No.
Christ, really. You're going, I'm sure to God.
I will get you to pray every day.
You're getting a fucking pillow.
Like, how could you ever kill your kid?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't understand that. Like, I would do anything.
Yes, I would die for them,
Yeah.
not make them die.
No.
So we have some of the hotline numbers up right now.
Yes.
The Harbor House, Central Florida. If you want to talk about that, birthday buddy, you want to talk about.
Yeah, so part of why I picked up the story is it kind of comes around full circle to a big topic that we always make sure we touch on is mental health
Absolutely.
and the importance of asking for help and knowing that there's help out there. Anywhere you are, there are local hotlines that you can call. There's also the National Domestic Violence Hotline in English and in Spanish, which is 1-800-799-7233. And you can always look up anything that is local to your area. But it is important. Those babies did not deserve that. And
No.
I'm sure his wife didn't either.
No, I mean, this man, like, there's other answers out there.
Yes.
And you know, yesterday, difficult day, things happen, things up, you know, and we all deal with our own mental demons.
Yeah.
And we have to, like, figure out the reason how to, like, just not be reactive to those things. You know what I mean? Just reach out for help, you know, It's hard, man. I can't figure it out. Josh today, we were talking about things, and he's been dealing with some stuff the last couple of days, and the podcast helped him like today. Lee wouldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, told him to listen to it. He ain't listened to it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I said, listen to it like a dude that isn't the dude on the podcast.
Yes.
So you tell me if
It's amazing.
if that shit helps you out or not.
Yeah.
It is crazy as fuck, man, to be that guy and like just the things that he gets in his head sometimes. And I'm like, man, you just gotta let it go, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta let it go because you're not that dude.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't
You're
have
not,
to be.
You're not that guy.
Yep.
And also a big thing for me with this specific one is those first responders and the officers and the people that were first to that scene. From
How are
what
those
I
guys
read
doing?
and what I've seen, it had been about 5 days
Yeah.
since it happened. There were reports of it being so bad that there were officers sick and running out of the house, and you can't tell me that doesn't affect you.
Oh, it totally does.
Oh man, John Reed is a guy that we're really good friends with. And so he was the medic that went in with the SWAT team at what was that? Sandy Hook shooting. Sandy Hook shooting. So all these dead kids in there. So basically, he kept every other medic from coming in to the scene. So he was the only guy that actually pronounced the kids.
Yeah.
And basically, he didn't want anybody else having those images. in their heads.
Good man.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want anybody having those things and having the stuff in there. So basically, he kept those things out of his head. It's like, having those things to carry the rest of your life, man. That's the shit that fucks me up.
That's a whole new level of taking one for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. John Reed's a good man. I'm sure he's listening. He listens quite a bit. So he's a good dude. But geez, man, that's a tough story. Those guys had to go respond to the scene and stuff, right?
Yes. I can't even imagine how horrific that was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's man, crazy. What are the numbers we got, Jason? We had the Harbor House.
Yeah, she basically was going over all the numbers as they were going across. Let's see, she gave me the list. So
Yeah, there's a national one. There's a Victim Service Center of Central Florida. It's 407-500 HEAL, HEAL. Harbor House, United Way 211 services. Call or text for confidential domestic abuse support. So anything, because I did also read that in one of the news articles, is that they were investigating to see if there was a history of domestic violence with this guy, because they were brand new to the area. They just moved here like 2 months ago.
What did they find?
It hasn't. It just happened. I don't know. I haven't seen any updates. That was the last thing I saw today.
We have any cops?
No.
Oh man, it's
Carol Baskin still on the lam.
Carol Baskin. Nobody's heard from that woman in a while.
I think
And,
it's going to
well, you're definitely not allowed to go, so let's talk about something else.
Why?
I did want to give a quick update on one of our county fire guys, Blake, who was diagnosed with the brain cancer. He recently went in and had his third craniotomy. He had some complications after surgery. He developed a hematoma where they took the tumor out and had to be readmitted to the hospital and have surgery again. But he has been released. He is back to posting on his own on Facebook and seems to be doing well.
also had a YouTube channel that he was keeping up with.
Yeah, he's trying. He's been a little behind.
Which
He's had
is
some issues,
understandable.
but one thing is there's a big fundraiser that's going to be happening for him on August 20th in Tavares. It's going to be really cool. It's focused on families, and all that money goes towards him. And I think it's really cool to see how everybody is just supporting him and coming together.
That's pretty cool. That is very cool.
And then another cool thing I saw is, you remember when I'm sure you know him, Tom the Bull Hill from
Yeah, absolutely.
Orange County. He walked from Key West to Tallahassee a couple years ago here with us.
Yeah.
He's back on the road.
Really?
He is
He had a stroke and everything.
He's doing a 2-week walk in North Carolina. And I saw a post the other day that he actually added our friend Blake here to his pack and is making some more changes.
That's awesome.
Good guy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. You know, I'm gonna go on the air right now and just throw this out there that since I am the international dodgeball firefighting champion, that we should have a dodgeball off, and I will gladly give the belt to the winner. In the we'll do this proceeds go to Blake.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was great.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll come up with a date.
We're gonna do a
And,
dodgeball.
well,
He does it with wrenches.
take
Do
my
a dodge wrench.
Yeah.
wrenches
It
can
hurts so bad.
I like to call it a Dodge Kumite. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dodgeball player the Hippo is.
Oh,
I don't.
Well,
I haven't seen that.
Nasty. He's quick.
he is. You probably should be so fast.
He's got quick feet. Yeah, that's the thing. It's majestic. When you see him dodging a ball, it's like,
It's not the ball, it's the wrench, the knife,
you know, I compare
everything you throw.
I compare it to right there. I compare it to a couple things. Like if you can watch like you know, I don't know, like the guy playing the Freebird solo, Leonard Skinner, like just so effortlessly.
Yes.
And then you have the Hippo
Yeah.
being on the dodgeball court.
I don't play any game with him that would that I
International.
could get hurt because he's going to hurt me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm going to try it, and then he's going to get mad at me.
He has got one stick. It's amazing. Majestic.
Yeah, total annihilation.
Majestic. Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody would like to see Mike Schultz jump off a bicycle ramp,
Oh, I don't know.
that will be
I wanna
the,
see
Is he like, what's that dude's name?
which one are you talking about? Evil
Evil
Knievel?
Knievel.
He is going to do it on a BMX bike because he's a BMX bike champion.
Perfect.
Yes. I
don't
feel like
even
him
know
and
this.
Zoe should be.
Yes.
And he will jump over 10 people off a ramp
Yes.
for Blake.
Yes.
Perfect.
For charity.
You heard it here.
Yeah. If he
I
makes
can't.
it, $50 he makes it in. So,
Does he have to clear the people?
yeah,
No, you have to.
yeah.
I'll do that.
If Dakota was one of the last people, he would purposely hit him.
I mean, I feel like Denver and Dakota should be a lot.
Yeah, true.
And
What's
Dakota
more shots. And the master of ceremonies for that is going to be Ronnie Robbins.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in a minute.
It's been a while.
I talked to Ronnie Robbins the other day. He was talking about his religion that he is starting. Well, it's people matters. It's amazing. So he will be. We will see.
I can't wait to hear about that.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Yeah, it's you know, it's not a space.
Can I join?
Definitely not allowed to join.
No.
Colts are not allowed in here. That's part of the staff for those who come in. So you know, that'll be happening. What else you got on the news, everybody?
That's all I got really for right this second.
Okay, cool. So
We're gonna go into the Brickley.
yeah, we got some.
Heard that, I've heard that before.
It's crashes.
Once you go in Braille.
Yes, we're gonna get a little deeper into these crashes because we got some things to
Yeah.
talk about.
So the Braley is. I love this guy.
I forgot we were talking.
Oh
Oh my gosh.
all kinds of
I have
things.
an LZ Urban Dictionary thing.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
you were in the bathroom,
Yeah,
so
go
we
ahead,
skipped
baby.
the Urban Dictionary. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks.
Well, you were dropping a deucer. But go ahead. It's okay.
So what do you want to think of LZ? Is
LZ.
Urban Dictionary.
Oh,
Oh, so LZ
I mean,
stands
I
for
automatically
I know what it is.
labia zone, landing strip.
Yeah.
Labia zone.
It's like a strip of pubes.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Man,
I'm
Well,
I'm
the sentence that goes along with it is Michelle loved when I slid my dick down her LZ into her vagina.
Yes, so it's a landing strip.
Yeah, man, Jason, you got one.
You got one. Look at that.
look, a landing.
Shaped as a long rectangle.
Yeah.
Jason's got a hell of an LZ. He's one of my favorites.
It's more like I'm pointing, like where you need to go.
Well, you know, listen, we
Just
did,
follow this.
we did the ball look for a while,
We did.
and then I'm like,
Mouth
I
floors.
would like, you know, some direction sometimes, you know, like just like a little bit of bread, you know.
Sometimes I like getting my finger around it and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
curl it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what we talking
What?
about.
Yeah.
You heard it right.
Yeah.
I can read
I like
nipples.
putting hair. You know, like when I have my, I just, you know.
So
He
many,
likes to twirl it.
Yeah.
so many layers to the hippo.
Okay.
Me and Amanda have a good like 2 hours of just hippo debrief, as we
Yes.
call it, and we go into all kinds of what have yous and whatnots. And there's apparently, if anybody has seen a Roadmaster with an expired license plate down South Miami, please call the rescue company one.
Yeah, exactly where it is.
I almost called you about our Roadmaster because the douchebag will be here next week.
Oh yeah.
Hey, need something to drive.
Are they all licensed? Right in the garage?
Not so that, but
Just the one.
None of them are. Yeah, well, I guess.
none of them are quite street legal.
And that's the one that he like has the exhaust and it's got like the cool back window thing with fire hose with water out of it.
Are
It's the
you
whole
fucking
thing.
kidding?
Does it say?
I wish I was
Does
kidding.
it say L-Dog?
So we were concentrating on Braley's. Braley, hey,
I love Roadmaster talk.
Braley is
Yes.
completely out of it right now.
Which, I don't know, I'm completely shaven. Is that what you're on? Ah, sorry.
Oh, my God.
You're welcome.
Let me tell you about this Brady situation. I
Oh,
was here to
geez.
say. Jason,
Should I put up the picture of him?
yeah, go ahead.
Which one?
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. I'm gonna get it here.
Oh, my fascination with bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
so
were-
That was the first thing I thought.
yeah, you put this up. Let me tell you, Brady's fascination with hotel bathrooms is one of the greatest things that's ever happened in
Just,
my
they
hotel.
don't make sense.
We take Brady out to a fancy dinner. And I'm not going to get him started on his urinal situation because we don't have time on it today, but it was great. But Jason, are nipples ever allowed to be exposed during a water egress class?
Yes.
No.
So I can expose my nipple?
No.
Yes.
Well, since,
Your body, your choice.
since Josh's offensive nipple situation has happened,
Okay.
somebody went topless during a water egress class.
I was hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were hot.
It was,
I was hot. You took your shirt off.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, nipples are not allowed. He goes, I'm always for topless. This is Matt Turner quote. I'm always for topless. For that guy's nipples are.
He was not talking about these perfect tens. Yeah.
Oh man, so Braley.
I did get him a t-shirt.
Yes, thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Oh, cotton kills. Oh,
Well,
You.
it wasn't a t-shirt, it was something.
it was to hear. Well,
It's a,
So Braley, you have an EKG talk today.
And we do.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Let's get them all Braley on the clock here.
yeah.
Hold on, let me start
Yeah,
a
I'll say
timer.
I'm not-
So we got it going. This one is to
time.
see if we can, sometimes you just need to know how to predict the future. And,
Yeah, so we got to
is it up?
Yes, you good.
I don't know, but your timer started.
So we're looking, the one that doesn't look so bad. So we're looking at 12. No, go down. Yeah, you ruined it. No, keep going. Keep
Oh
going.
my gosh.
Yeah, you need some Fenugreek on that. Okay, so
What do you mean?
where we're going? Maybe.
I don't even know what we're doing.
We are looking at our 12 lead, and all of a sudden we're like, there's only one thing weird about this. We're going ABL, we got a negative T wave, and we're not, is this normal? Is it not? Because if everybody knows, you see negative T wave, that means you might have an inferior, or you might not have an inferior wall MI.
ABL, right?
ABL, yeah. It's like, is it weird? Is it normal? I don't know, everything else looks good. By the way, you also want to look for other things on the inferior side. What does that RCA feed? That's what we want to know. Why does the RCA feed?
The right coronary artery, it would feed the right side of the heart.
Yeah, but what,
The inferior
Oh,
wall,
weird.
the right atrium,
but two things I want. Yep.
posterior wall.
And then two things that surprisingly feeds on that side usually.
Is it the AV node?
Yes, you get your SA, AV node.
Yeah.
So when that doesn't get blood, you start seeing that PRI get going longer and longer. You start seeing some blocks. So we need to start looking at that. And then we started like, well, AVL is going to be inferior. So what the cool thing is that we can go, and if you just skip to the third one.
Is it the 12 lead?
Nope, keep going. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is if you see an inverted T wave in ABL, I want you to take that QRS axis, and it should be between 0 and 90, okay? So let's say it says 90. Look over to the T wave axis, and that should, basically that T wave axis should stay within 45 degrees of each other for the repolarization. So in other words, if that QRS and the T wave, that should hit within that 45 degrees, and that's a normal repolarization for that QRS. Once you start seeing that go past 45 degrees, you'll start seeing a repolarization that is abnormal, and that is going to be most likely to RCA. We're going to look at inferior stem.
I think that's one of the most interesting points of this whole thing, Braley. I learned something with this. That whole number derangement there is huge, right?
Yeah.
Those numbers that don't calculate into the things. Now here's this thing though. What do we have to look at to trust the numbers, the measurements? Because none of us have calipers and stuff to do here, right?
All right. So at the bottom of your 12 lead, you want to make sure
You want me to go
see
switch to
at
it?
the bottom right,
Really?
typically is the 2 box.
Hold on a second.
Do you want me to switch to it so they can see? Do you want 12 lead?
Yeah.
12 lead?
Sure,
Yeah,
do
switch
it.
to the 12.
There it is.
I don't know which one it is, but
Oh, actually, it doesn't show the calibration on this.
Yeah.
it might on the bottom. But which do you have the one that turned into a massive inferior?
Yeah.
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 Notice what happened to that person when what was great was when you looked at that first 12 lead, you're like, I could get an AMA. I mean, I could get a
refusal on this, right?
refusal on
Yeah.
that doesn't look so bad. Well, if you didn't use that calculation and you didn't look at that person and go like, hey, you got some chest pain, you're not doing well, feel ingestion, start doing the QRS T-wave axis, and you're like, no, you've got to go to the hospital. Well, our gentleman here, he had a massive inferior.
So back to the numbers there real quick, Brady. So the
Yeah.
bottom of the EKG, we're looking for the right speed, right? We're looking to see if they got the right speed on this right here, right?
Yeah. So
And then, and what about the square wave? Also looking at a square wave to see if we have the right
Those-
calibration.
right for those two boxes,
Two
in the
big
square wave.
boxes.
2 big boxes.
And then we
one
can-
wide.
And then we can trust these numbers up there. And let me tell you, we'll put Braley's notes up on the notes of the podcast because this is great. This is where I learned something from Braley the other day. The number derangement, like with one number, when that 45 degrees becomes bigger than 45-degree differences.
And that was because the people that wrote this, that's where it starts. Most of the studies were like, look at 90 degrees, but once you hit over 45, you're going, okay, this is starting to get serious. You hit really 90 degrees, you're like, wow, we need to get going.
Man, it was refreshing to watch this 12 lead. And again, this is something you can come see here at the Ritz Company 1. When you come there, medical class, refreshing to see a 12 lead class that doesn't have, this is 12 leads. Here's your mimics. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck
Right?
yourself.
Oh,
And-
time.
But since I didn't get it all, well, we want to see, remember that RCA? Think about the right coronary artery. What does it feed? SAAV. Look at what happened to this. We started getting blocks, right?
Yep.
First, we start with that SA, that PRI enroll, and then we get further into those blocks. Think where that artery's blocked.
And
RCA.
you know, if you want more Braley or Braley's nipples, you come see us here at the Rescue Company
Yeah.
1.
Come for the E-gang and cheese, get the nipples.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
They're B cups.
Where are your nipples?
You know, give people just one nipple. Let people see one nipple on the.
See, I don't know what's so offensive about these things.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that they were. Look at that right there. Oh, that thing's hard too.
We're gonna get,
That thing is hard.
We're gonna get 2.
Wait,
Well,
you gotta show
now
it.
it's hard.
Well, now it's hard.
Now
There.
it's hard.
Oh,
Not my nipples.
Yeah. So,
goodness.
oh my God, unbelievable.
What?
People's nipples are getting touched. So we're gonna do a shot to that one right there.
Why I love
And
this place.
and again to Grandma Homewrecker. You know,
Grandma.
we're up
To
there.
grandma.
Cheers.
3-way in heaven.
Ooh, that wasn't loud or anything. Right there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God.
What we got?
Jeez.
What do we have?
Him. Look at him.
Really?
He's thinking
There's
more
one
of-
nipple.
He's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one nipple. Hey, stop touching Braley's nipples.
If I get
Put them away.
fenugreek, she's trying to milk me if I get some fenugreek.
Yeah. Anyways.
I do think that everybody should get themselves a Braley.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sure
Fun to play with.
I
would love
brought Braley on a date the other day as my plus one.
You did.
It was great. That's all I'm going to say about this.
I can repel
I
any
thought it was
woman.
incredibly interesting.
I thought it was great and interesting. On my plus one date that I went on with Braley.
Goodness.
Anyways, moving on
How did you
topics.
Like it, Riley? Did you like the +1?
It was awesome. I got to ask questions that didn't matter. Like, do you do drugs?
That's not what you asked.
Where else do you have tattoos?
Okay, so moving on.
We have We have a cheers from Schultz and Heather.
Oh,
Cheers.
Yep.
Schultz. He's
Aw,
my
Dad.
dad.
Yep. He better.
That's
He
awesome.
better.
He
give
better
us some-
start pedaling on his bicycle.
You know,
So apparently
for
that-
being the dad, he is the best texter backer that
Oh
I've
yeah.
ever
Oh
had.
yeah.
Though.
Oh yeah. I got no problems with Schultz.
Yeah.
Schultz needs to speak to his
You
dad
ready to
though,
ride
so he
a
can get his.
bicycle over 10 people, Schultz?
He needs to get his BMX bike that's sitting in his dad's shed that he doesn't talk to.
Oh.
Do it.
His dad's got to be 200 years old. Like a man's got to be old as shit. You know, like 200 years old and sitting there. I mean, Schultz is 79. So
He is.
it's crazy.
That's confirmed.
I worked with his son the other day. That's a shit bag.
Oh,
did
really?
Well, I worked with Dakota the other day.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Love him.
Yeah. How many times did you go to?
Allegedly Lake County.
Yeah.
Yeah, once. One time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's gonna
I'm
be
a-
a new rule. Either the air support agency is gonna have to give us credits,
For
or
what?
Yeah.
for all of the fucking flyouts.
Yeah, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
ridiculous.
Allegedly.
Actually, do they really need to be flown out?
I'm not
Allegedly.
saying they do, but
Allegedly. You guys aren't saying the alleged word.
I
Yeah,
mean,
allegedly,
I feel like
allegedly.
allegedly I was working in Lake County not too long ago, and I didn't get anybody sick.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
that's good.
yeah, well, it's good. Moving on on the topics today.
And we're on.
Yeah. So on a sad note, it's rarely that we don't. Again, it just stresses the point. Just about every time we're teaching a class, so we're looking at quarterly, sometimes bi-monthly, we get helicopter crashes.
Yes.
And I mean, if you think I'm full of shit, you go back and look at dates. Look at the
Yeah,
dates. Look to see what the fuck we were doing on that day, on those dates, and they'll tell you that yes,
Every
we're
single class was
just
that helicopter
about, man. So this time we get two of them.
Yeah, like within a day of each other.
Yeah, one.
The last time we did this, it was the same with the Lake of Popka,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was
Two
at least
crashes.
two in the same place.
Yes.
but it was within 12 hours of each other.
Yeah.
So basically,
So now we're going from 1 to 2.
one crash, people walked away.
Actually, both of them.
Yeah.
Both walked
Well,
away.
they didn't walk away from the second one, but they did not die.
Well,
They
apparently
swam
the
away.
medic's in critical condition right now. Was
One, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
right.
other two, everybody went to the hospital, but only one was critical.
So the LZ one is the one that's concerned. What you got there, buddy? Let me go read
Yeah,
me
which
some news.
Just tell me
Yes.
which one you're gonna use
Ohio.
first. I don't.
The power lines.
Okay, thank you.
So this one was a medical helicopter coming in for a serious car accident. Was the first of two helicopters coming in. Crews were on the ground trying to establish an LZ. Didn't notice the power lines. Didn't communicate that to the aircraft coming in, and they crashed into power lines.
What the fuck?
Hey, what time of the day? Do we know what time of the day that was?
It was morning, but it was light out.
Okay.
How do you
No.
not look at power lines?
Well, I've not been in a helicopter very often,
No,
but
but as ground crew, how do you not look at power lines?
yes, they have to absolutely because
So why
the
didn't
people in the helicopters it is very difficult to see. Like
So why did the ground crew not look at it?
I don't know.
Listen, this is the we'll get to it here. There.
I mean,
Just
allegedly,
Well, we're gonna
the
talk about
people
it.
on the LZ were cops.
Oh jeez.
So we have some Robs. on the
Okay,
scene.
Rob.
Robs are setting up the LZs.
Well, that's a problem.
So no, listen, man. What's interesting here is this: like places like in Ohio, Michigan, and stuff like that. The cops do a lot of the pre-hospital scene work stuff.
Yeah.
And so here we're just very used to the fire department doing it, but there we go. And up there, they're setting up the LZs. But the interesting thing is, you got to understand from the our point of view in the helicopter is this: everybody lies, everybody's got AIDS.
That's a true story.
And this is how you get
Yeah.
through life being safe. You know what I'm saying? So, oh no, I don't have AIDS. Yeah, you do. So don't eat that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're up there and when we're on final, one of the things that we'll do is we'll do a good recon in a good circle.
Yeah.
And then all eyes are out the whole time. So we're looking out the window, And I really rely on the pilot and usually our medic that's sitting in the front to be as and also me. I'm doing the best possible thing to look at the tail. What's up? You got a lot of looks.
I don't know. She was trying to tell me something.
You keep talking.
But yeah,
Oh,
you got to rely on everybody.
Yeah,
everybody's got.
Everybody's be looking out.
Yeah,
yeah. And like one of the things that they took away from us that is, I still to this day think it's one of those bad decisions because everything rules are made on the lowest common denominator, right? So 3 dumbasses let a door slide out the back, and then now we're not allowed to open up the door on final. But if I'm in my seatbelt, I should be able to slide the door, and I should be able to stick my head out so I can actually clear the tail.
Yeah,
you're relying on me to clear the tail through like 2 fucking little tiny windows. It's just not going to happen. And we're landing on some of these things, and this is sometimes is the only thing that happens. Allegedly, sometimes the door may get open on final because I can't see the fucking tail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to clear the tail and stuff like that. And one of the things that will fuck you up is these power lines you may not see. You know what I'm saying? And if you've never seen what a rotor will do to a tail, even if you have an enclosed fucking tail rotor, when a piece of rotor hits that back fucking tail, that's some fucked up shit. If you've never seen that, and then nothing fucks your profile of flight up like that. That makes sense. So shit, man, that just sucks. So we know the program name or anything like that?
I only know it was in Butler County, Ohio. All 3 crew members were taken to area hospitals, but they all had non-life-threatening injuries.
Damn.
And that's the one that they said everybody, technically they all walked away from it because they just went and got checked. But
man, if I'm not mistaken, we know somebody that their name rhymes as Meredith. That Butler County, me and Josh have been in Butler County teaching for this program.
Oh, really?
Yep. So this is actually where Meredith used to work out there. Yes, it's her old program.
Wow.
What's that helicopter type? Did it say on there?
Let me see if I can find
If
it.
you tell me the helicopter, I'll tell you exactly if it's them or not.
It's got 5 blades. Does that matter?
Yep, it sure does. That's the program.
Yeah. Because that's not a normal thing, right? It's usually
it depends on the type of
okay.
helicopter. Yeah. So
Okay.
but yeah, that program would fly a 5-bladed helicopter.
Is Meredith back to work yet?
Not sure. I don't think so.
I gotta text her.
So one of the things, like the pictures that I'm putting up right now, are highlighted with either yellow or orange to show where the power lines are, right?
Yep.
But what you don't understand is you don't see those if they're not highlighted like that. Like you really, it is, and that's during the day.
It'd be hard to see.
Yeah, not even, and like at night, it's 10 times harder. So
and it's truly a team effort to set up an LZ. And we're looking, at a bare minimum, 100 by 100, sometimes a 70 by 70. But if this is the right type of program, we're looking at the reality is that's a big helicopter landing pre-hospital.
It says it was care flight.
Yep. So it's a big helicopter. You're looking at a Dolphin helicopter landing on a small place, so you're looking 100 by 100 minimum.
Yeah.
Just because the rotor, the span of those rotors and the amount of room this needs, and then also you're looking at tires. This is not a skidded helicopter either.
How many of these situations have you come like close with?
So interesting enough. So we old program we used to fly BK 117 where it came from, and same type of situation. 2 helicopters on the scene. 1 helicopter's in front of us. The ground crew told us there's only 1 spot to land. We're going to let the other helicopter lift, and we're going to land this right behind them. And the pilot I was working with said, no fireman's going to tell me how to land my helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
And he went to land in a spot, and we hit, a few 100-year-old tree.
Oh.
Yeah, lost the rotor, kind of came down into to the ground, bended a skid in.
Before I met you. Huh?
Yeah, that's way back. Bended a skid in, and they call it a hard landing, but we got a new helicopter. I was working with a guy named Ron Weichel that day. His funniest thing is that Ron is sitting in the back and beat us to the 12 o'clock spot. Like all I can see is me and the pilot are still in the front, and Ron's holding the blood in the cooler. I mean the blood and the drugs. He's holding the cooler of blood and the drugs. I'm like, how did he unbuckle that shit so fast and get up front? Like, and Ron never flew again after that. You know, never got in a helicopter again.
Because of that situation.
I don't know. I don't know if that was it, but you know, it's one of those that you know you only got so many lives.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And I've tried to you know, see how many I can get. You know, I'm down to like I think I got 4 left. Four of them. The helicopter business is one of those fucking things, man. And we tell people every class, I said, I'm not trying to create fear in you. I'm trying to get you respect of what we do. Right. And it's the greatest fucking job in the whole entire world. This is the greatest job in the whole entire world. You can go and you fly around, you fucking do, you know, the most amazing things every day. And that's the cool thing when when I'm working with Scholl and Dakota, and I make fun of these guys all the time. But the cool shit is that we're getting to do shit that we talk about in class all the time.
Yeah.
And to watch a student that goes like, man, I mean, how often does that shit happen to like it's happening? And these guys are recognizing signs and symptoms and doing the things that you know we talk about in classes is really fucking awesome to watch them do it.
Yeah.
And for real, you know, and it's the greatest job. But the reality is you're gonna bury some friends when you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which really sucks.
You're gonna bury some friends, you're gonna fucking and you know, you may be the person that doesn't come back. Like this is a fucking job that there is no there's no telling that you're gonna land like you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what affects me so much when we're flying so many people out that I do, like we're talking about a transport medic making a decision based on seconds because they're like, oh well, we're gonna fly them because it's faster than driving,
and that's okay.
But
that's okay. And you know, sometimes it's you got to understand that we're going to be the extension of that hospital. Sometimes we're going to be able to do things that somebody ain't going to be able to do on the ground. But if the problem progresses in that ride, then that's okay. It's an inherent risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's an inherent risk. And you know, like shit, man, you got to break eggs and make an omelet, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't let the possibility of the bad thing happen to be the reason why you wouldn't call. You know, it's like
weighing the you know, good versus evil or whatever's, you know, you got to outweigh the risk versus reward.
You know, it's one of those things I will say that I remember being 20 some odd years old on a house fire. And let's say that we have, you know, 2 departments to start with O on the scene. And we get in there and this is an abandoned house. And whether you're going to go inside and put this fire out and do a search and do all the shit you're supposed to do, or you just attack this abandoned house from the outside. And let me tell you something. I am glad that we had a chief with some balls that go, we're going to do what we're going to do on every house, whether this looked abandoned yesterday or looked abandoned today, because that fire started somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And don't me and a fat guy, me and this fat guy that named my partner, which name I'll name was stumble over somebody that started the, you know, that was in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. Like lives are life, bro. And you know, and you know, these things we do so that others may live, bro. And you gotta, you know, we do the right things so we can make sure people can make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's bottom line of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, shit could happen, and that could have been a patient that maybe didn't need the helicopter.
Yeah,
would not made a difference.
Yeah,
but what
I mean, there has to be some standard, and I get that, and that's the standard that we're going off of. However, it just sometimes it does seem a little excessive. As all.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there is the thoughts of that out there. You know what's crazy is Jason, to talk about it, is that late 2000s, like, you know, like I'm talking like 2008 to, you know, into 2012 or so. So like 2006, 2010, worst years in the helicopter EMS community. It's tons of crashes, you know, hundreds and hundreds of deaths, right? And then you get into this guy, Bledsoe. And this is when I tell you that people that are influential, that have a name, but no longer are relevant, are dangerous. People that have names that are no longer relevant are dangerous. Dr. Bledsoe writes, the paramedic book for Brady, right at the time.
It's a
Now,
horrible book.
yes, this guy's opinion in front of Congress. Now, this is the guy that writes the medic book. He's a fucking policymaker, man.
Right.
He's sitting in front of Congress testifying against fucking helicopters. You know what I'm saying? Testifying against the job that we do, like how inefficient we are. Listen, man, the reality is that it is an efficient system, but it's always evolving. It's always evolving. When you're influential and you should be still relevant. You should still be reading, because your opinion, if it's no longer relevant, could fucking change and kill people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God rest his soul, Dr. Sal Silvestri. He always said this. He can always defend you doing, but he cannot defend in action.
Did you say inaction?
Inaction.
Oh,
Yeah.
inaction. Yeah, not
Not doing it. It's not defendable.
Yeah.
And like the fact is, you got to pull the trigger, and the line's got to be drawn somewhere.
He totally did that all the time.
Yep.
And he's one of those medical directors that trusts his people and pushes them to do the right thing. And it's hard, that's not
It is hard.
That's not how a lot of medical directors are.
They
You
should
know?
be.
I don't disagree.
It is hard. Braley,
You have to spend time. So listen, if you're going to take the job as a medical director, you have to spend time with the people that you plan on training.
Yeah.
And if that is not something that is part of your plan, then you shouldn't be a medical director for an EMS agency.
Right.
I have a question for Birthday Buddy, and then I also have a question for Braley. Because, here's the thing. Birthday Buddy sits in the vantage point now, sitting in the office, listening to different things. And being in the situation, it's like, should rules be based on the lowest common denominator person?
I don't think they should. I think that there should be a standard. And I think that if you base all the rules on the lowest common denominator, then you're accepting mediocrity.
Yeah. This is not a mediocrity job, is it? You can't be mediocre. No. You cannot be mediocre.
No. So if you're basing and you're making that the standard and you're building rules around that lowest person, what are you doing to everybody else?
Exactly. You're lowering the standard.
Yeah. And that's not okay.
Now, Braley, you being hypothetically speaking here, okay? Let's be hypothetical for a second.
Hypothetically had a lot of food.
Yeah.
And alcohol.
With all due respect and allegedly saying, like, you face this situation this career changing for you in the sense because a system based on the low and common denominator you don't fit into.
No, I do not fit in that. I can't work in the low.
Yeah, you don't fit into it. Yeah.
Because you don't accept mediocrity.
And I don't work that way.
When it
My
comes to
brain
people's
doesn't
lives.
understand it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because it's funny as shit because I was talking to Dakota about being with Braley for a whole week. And just being around Braley is one of these cool things because his brain is so far past the step that you're on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And it makes me think about what I'm gonna say because you're thinking faster than I am, which is fucking awesome to sit in that room. But listen, man. Like the reality is that sometimes the sandbox gets too small for certain people. And you're working when you're playing, and this is fucking great because there's gonna be some parents that are gonna resonate with this. Sometimes when the world moves too fucking slow for certain kids, they are looked at as problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
you had this conversation with my teenager.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had this
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
with my teenager.
Yeah, like the world moves too fucking slow for certain people, and because they already solved the problem, they don't have to show their work.
Yeah.
They don't have to show their work. That creates a problem for them, and we see this problem in EMS today.
I used to have that problem. Like when I was in college and I was in whatever algebra it was, like I couldn't figure out how to show my work. Like I did all that.
Right answer.
My ass.
I did all that shit in my head, and
You got
yes,
the right answer.
I did
No.
get the right answer,
Well.
but Like, I had to retake tests in front of my teacher
Mhm.
to show him that I did not cheat. I just figured that like it makes sense in my head, but I can't put it on paper.
I can't tell you how many times going through algebra, Jason made me cry because he's like, write it down.
I can't.
Write it out.
I can't.
Write it out. Show
I
your
don't-
work. And
I
I'm
don't
like,
know how to do
I
that.
don't know how.
It
And
doesn't.
he's like, yes, you do.
It,
Do
no,
it.
it doesn't. It doesn't work like that.
But you know, this is the
makes
greatest thing.
sense in my head, but I can't write it down.
It's just around this table. How many people are going to solve the same problem differently?
Right.
Oh.
And it's fucking insane.
Almost every single one of us would
It's
solve it
fucking
differently.
crazy. It is fucking crazy. You know,
Yeah.
and I want you to know, Brayley, that I do think that there is a place for you.
Oh, on the 18.
You know, there is a place for you.
I was Robbie's ideal body weight. Like I did it completely different and showed the class how you can do it completely different, and it's not even a problem. Like it's instant.
Yeah,
They're
well,
like,
you know,
"Oh."
yeah. Was that approved by Human Resources, Robbie Tester?
Oh.
No, I think you got upset at me.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Do not upset Robbie.
Yeah.
He's gonna
No,
be your
yeah,
boss
like
soon.
He
you know?
He is
will
my
fire
boss.
you.
He is your
He's-
boss.
Yeah,
He is my boss.
I'm so afraid of that guy.
But
It's freaking
I
crazy.
think-
so smart.
Yeah.
I think that having so many people that work so closely for the same goal that do think of things differently and solve problems differently, I think it makes you stronger as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Different views.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's so many times that I've talked to people about things and like, oh, well, I've never thought of it that way. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a different view.
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
I do
Mhm.
want to bring focus back and rotate to this thing here with these crashes, though, because the second crash,
Yep.
in both of these crashes, got some related topics that people that don't have the pulse of the industry will be fucking pissing themselves here when I bring up this point here. So go ahead, birthday buddy.
So the second one was the next day in South Alabama, Andalusia. 2 victims from the helicopter were taken by ambulance to a hospital. One was airlifted to Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola.
I would make
no.
a joke about that, but I'm not going to.
Second was airlifted. A third
Sacred
was
Heart.
airlifted from the scene and is also being treated at Sacred Heart. So a total of 4. The extent of their injuries is not known yet. No one on the ground was injured. However, they did say that there were 5 power poles knocked down when the helicopter went down.
Holy
But the
cow.
FAA is investigating what
How the fuck
caused
does
the
that
crash.
If somebody is putting an LZ, how do you knock down 5 power poles?
This listen, this is situations we got.
I really
going on
would
right-
like to know that.
Well, maybe we can make some calls and some emails will be written.
5.
Buddy, put them down on the paper. Write some emails.
Okay.
5 power. How do you knock down 5 power poles?
Brayley,
Yes.
earlier last week when we were teaching, so the current hour requirements for pilots in EMS helicopters are
Didn't it drop down to like 1,500,
from
2,000?
2,000 to when now is at 1,500 hours. So 1,500 hours. Some places to hire a helicopter EMS pilot. By the way, the most underpaid pilot in the in the United States. The greatest and most fucked up thing about this is the number 1 deadliest job in the United States right now is a helicopter EMS pilot. The
And they're lowest paid?
underpaid fucking
Oh my
pilots out
God.
there. So right now, if you can pass the class 1,
I really want to do that.
baby, let me get to this point. This is fucking important. It's like people are gonna die because of this. I want you to. I'm fucking deadly serious here. If you can pass it, if you can pass an FAA physical right now for a pilot, JetBlue will send you to pilot school and pay you
A lot of
to
money.
sit in fucking school to become a pilot. Then they're going to pay you to be a student instructor. So you're going to be a person learning how to be an instructor. Then you're going to pay you to be an instructor to build your fucking flight hours. And then when you get done with that, they're going to pay you close to $200,000 to be the 3rd guy in the cockpit
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm gonna go do that.
to learn how to be a fucking pilot.
I'm gonna
Wow.
do that.
And we're
I don't wanna be a
paying
nurse anymore.
$60,000 to a helicopter pilot who fucking could die doing this thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Why the fuck would you sit and become a helicopter
I'm not
EMS
going to.
pilot
I'm gonna go be a
versus
JetBlue
fucking
pilot.
flying an airline? Babe, I want you to understand this because you're gonna bury me.
I'm not.
Well, then listen to what I'm fucking telling you here. We're dropping the fucking hour requirements for people to do this job. People are fucking crashing with 2,000 hours hitting fucking power poles.
Yeah.
and yet
But let's lower
we're
the
doing
standard.
nothing to pay these pilots. Let me
the
tell you
best.
right now that
Yeah.
I won't. There's people out there trying though. The Metrans paying. They just raise their fucking pay for these guys out there, and every other people need to follow suit and start raising pay.
So
Right.
what
Or
is
these
the
guys are
difference?
going to the fucking airlines. Go ahead.
What is the difference between that and nurses?
Well, I knew that you were going to come up with this. Okay, but this is the difference between me and you and nurses. Is you're married to a nurse that flies in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like people go to the hospital not with a fucking pilot, right?
Right.
Let's not muddle the waters
No,
here.
they did not.
And this
So
is what
here's the
people
thing.
this is what people
If
do.
you-
They
no.
muddle the waters when we're talking about this thing. Nobody talks about these guys have no voice, babe.
I agree.
And my
they
life is
should-
in their hands.
I agree. They should
To the
get
lowest
paid
paid.
decently,
It's like
just
teachers.
like nurses should.
Yes, and I know that you're passionate about it.
Okay.
And we need to have a show about nurses' pay.
Yeah.
Well, let's stop talking about the pilots
I mean-
that are dying. We'll talk about this.
You saw where the nurses started. I mean, they do have a second job.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
I don't
babe,
know.
I'm with you, babe. I do think that the pay for nurses needs to go up and stuff like that. But this is the thing. Wait, Jason, prior to this day, have you heard about these guys not being paid that amount of money?
No, I never. I actually thought that they got compensated pretty well.
No,
I-
they don't.
I did
You would
too.
think.
Most pilots,
Because
just in general, whether it be a
Make decent money.
helicopter or a
EMS pilots go to like JetBlue or whatever commercial airlines because they get paid better.
Yeah.
Like some places where maybe he works or not, they have had pilots leave because they're going to get paid better at commercial
yeah.
airlines.
I mean, but that happens everywhere. You know, that happens in fire departments and EMS and whatever.
Yeah.
People
Because
leave.
people like
but
money.
you don't need
Nurses-
to. You don't
nurses
need.
stop
You don't need.
working.
You don't need 2,000 hours
Right.
to be a firefighter paramedic,
That's true.
right? You don't need 2,000 hours
You
to be hired
should.
into the emergency room as a nurse.
You should,
You should, but that ain't the standard.
but it
Right.
should be.
Well, you know, this is the thing, man. Like, you know how much it takes to, like, how many hours it takes for these guys to build thousands of hours before they come to
Yeah.
a fucking job
Actual
like this.
flight.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people go, "Oh, it's the military guys." Well, you know what? When you military ain't flying that whole much. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I hate to turn this into a political situation right now, but in the current state that we're in, there ain't a lot of helicopter fucking flying, and you know,
No.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't a lot of helicopter flying. There ain't a lot of this stuff happening, and like, these guys are coming out of the military not with the hours.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they haven't
yeah, true.
in years. We were in war for 20 years. and we still
Yeah.
don't have the guys coming out with 2,000 hours to come out of the
That's
military with that.
crazy.
Because
That's
you know
crazy.
what happens is guys go to pilot school, they get assigned to a unit, they get promoted, then you're more of an administrator than you are a pilot.
Right. Which is crazy. Bobby G has a comment.
Bobby
says,
G.
I
Yeah.
don't
I would be
understand
a
how
good helicopter
EMS.
pilot.
I don't understand how EMS or EMS air crew are so underpaid. Even in Canada, the paramedics are the lowest paid out of 3 services.
Yeah, man.
I don't
It-
understand it either,
I
Bobby.
don't know.
and you know what happens is it's such a sought out after job that anytime you make any complaints or you try to make your environment better, they just go, there's a few 100,000 people that want your job, man. So you can
And
go.
they're not wrong.
So find
You know.
find those 300,000 people that are
Hey, I
qualified.
get it. I get it.
but we're
that is
lowering
true.
the standard for
Qualified.
qualified.
I said qualified.
But we're lowering the
Don't do
standard.
that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
already have.
Don't,
Yeah.
because those like patients are gonna die.
Yeah.
Now,
You're
That's
right.
true.
But
now,
they're already doing it.
Don't.
with these particular cases, I'm sure we don't know the pilots' flight hours and things like that.
No,
we
I
don't
don't- I
know,
mean,
and
I
we
don't
don't
know
know
any
if
of
it's
that.
pilot error.
Yeah.
We don't know if
Exactly.
anything, but
And
Just
that's
wait till the
not
black
we're not
box.
we're not
We're not-
talking about
we're
that.
not
We're not
po-
saying that they
we're not.
have
No,
those
no.
issues.
we're not.
Yeah.
And Jason, that's a good point to bring up too. Is we don't know what the outcomes of this and what the
Yeah.
NTSB reports are going to read.
Right.
But it is a good opportunity to illustrate something that is going to be tremendous in our industry. It is going to be tremendous in our industry. Let me tell you, we have FAA rules that we have to follow, these 135 guidelines that we have to follow in order to be able to bill people for these flights.
Right.
By the way, I do want to bring some up. In the state of Florida, when there is no billing of patients. The
No,
insurance
You
should.
should.
You
Really?
should,
Well,
Should
like
I
a
bill
like
it?
a copay, maybe, right? It's a
Uh,
copay.
there's a
Depending on who
copay.
picks
Yeah.
you up.
a copay. Well, yes, we cannot. This is the thing. Most of the major companies in the state have agreements with insurance companies
Right,
now. So
yeah.
the insurance get paid, and you're looking at a pocket maybe at $170.
Yeah,
It's actually
that's
cheaper than a
thousands of
BLS transport. Not an
Oh
ambulance.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm
You
sure.
know, so
Or you should also look at who's picking you up.
yeah, and I love you. I get you in the window there, but we're gonna go ahead and stay neutral on that one.
I
And,
am not saying anything. I'm
yeah.
just saying you should see who's going to pick you up.
Yeah. So,
Maybe it'll cost more.
well, sometimes
What
people,
Is
praise
that, is
God.
that where the Jewish comes?
Yeah.
The
Not
Jewish
quite.
guy comes in.
Yeah.
Not quite.
So, but the industry is coming up for a change, man.
Yeah.
It has got a change coming its way that is going to be fucking dramatic. And it's like, there's no better opportunity than now to kind of start illustrating that. There's people out there that love this job. They're fucking involved in it, and they're all the way policy changers. But yet, as a member of the former Florida Air Medical Association, as a current FACTS president,
I was going to say, aren't you the president?
our meetings aren't very full.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, it's gonna only be full when people are dying. Now there's an issue that we need to address. So now let's work on it instead of preventing an issue.
And it'll
Stop-
only be full immediately
trying to be
after that
proactive.
death.
Yeah.
And then people fade off and go back to their lives.
Yeah, don't be proactive. That doesn't.
Right.
That
Man,
doesn't translate to.
we still got places that turn down flights for weather or crew rest and stuff like that, and you have EMS captains calling the chiefs, waking up chiefs, telling people that they waking up EMS captains, telling them that why is this people not taking a flight and doing these things, and man, like that's still happening in the industry, still fucking happening.
Jason, you want to read what Jody just posted?
Yeah. You read it. I'll put it up for you guys. Go ahead.
Insurance companies need to bill by the skill, not the vehicle. When you consider hairstylists charged by the skill level, your life should be as important as your hair.
That is true.
Listen,
Oh my
She ain't
God.
wrong.
Yeah.
I do my own hair.
Yeah, but
But it still costs you a decent amount, I'm sure.
but if you paid somebody to do it,
Fuck no, they don't do it right.
Well, if they did,
And
it would be very
if
expensive.
if they did my hair right, I would probably pay like
But
close to $800 for
Right.
it.
It is
Exactly.
interesting.
Fuck all that.
It is interesting what people are willing to pay for and the stuff that people are willing to do, to downgrade the system, right?
Yeah.
Like it's fucking amazing to me, man. But the world of emergency medical services since the mid, to late 2000s has been built for the masses. It's built for the masses. The lowest common denominator person gets it. And if you are not part of the norm, you're at abnormality and you need to be dealt with.
I need to be dealt with.
If you're
Oh.
doing whether I'm gonna deal with you in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure you are. So it's crazy. But
I mean, I got to watch a helicopter land the other day, and it was pretty cool.
oh yeah, man.
Really?
It's the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah,
You
that's
watch
awesome.
the thing.
It was
You
pretty
what-
cool.
I love staring at that picture that I have in my office of Leonardo da Vinci's drawing of the helicopter, right?
Mhm.
And like his diagram of what the helicopter is. And in Italian, it reads, "There is
Should not fly.
great in theory, practical
so.
application dangerous."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it is this fucking flying pendulum that should not fucking be in the air, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fucking insane. What other notes you got there, birthday buddy?
I have some guidelines for how to prepare safe LZ.
Yes.
Size, at least 100 feet by 100 feet.
Is that with power lines?
Yes.
Hold on, I haven't got there.
Yes. Go
Shape,
ahead.
square, circular, or rectangular. Slope, relatively flat, less than 10 degrees. Surface, the LZ should be free of debris and equipment. Surroundings, identify power lines,
What?
antennas, trees, signs, poles, or hazards
Wait.
within 500 yards.
Can you beat them?
And
Go ahead
keep
and let's go and
personnel,
start a 1 minute timeout clock, please.
spectators, and vehicles at least 200 feet from the touchdown area. Do not approach the helicopter without crew supervision. We did have a video of that recently too, where some
Yeah.
people just ran up to
Yeah.
a helicopter.
Yeah. Heads were fucking chopped, weren't they?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
daytime LZ marked the four corners of the site with highly visible objects such as giant vehicles or fire trucks.
Mhm.
Nighttime LZ used strobe kits or vehicle headlights to mark the LZ, but with a note: avoid shining the light directly at the aircraft as it may interfere with the pilot's night vision.
Yeah. Right.
And then there's just some general safety precautions. These could apply to anyone, even like people like me that just want to watch the helicopter
Yes.
land because helicopters are cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in one, but it's pretty cool to watch.
Helicopters get you pussy.
Again,
That's what I say.
no running towards the helicopter. Let them come to you. Approach and exit from the front with approval from the air medical team.
Yep.
Wear appropriate eye and hearing protection because that shit flies all over the place
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
Sand.
pelts you.
People don't realize it.
Yep.
Oh, remain at a distance of at least 100 feet during all takeoffs and landings. No loose articles within 100 feet of helicopter blades in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Do not raise anything higher than head level.
Yep.
No vehicle
No
traffic.
doing this.
Yeah. Well, it says specifically the IV poles.
Do that again.
No vehicle traffic within 100 feet of the helicopter. No smoking within 100 feet of the helicopter.
What?
I don't know why you got to tell people that.
You know what's
Would it
funny?
really work
You know
anyway?
what's funny as shit is when I started at this at my first flight program, we had this pilot named Merle.
I knew it was a pilot. I
Yeah,
knew it.
Merle. And like, and this,
From Nam, right?
our pilots would get out and guard the tail. So now they would
Yeah.
lock the controls.
Oh, no
Rotors
shit.
are still running. Yeah, it's pretty.
Wow.
It's actually weird for me to work at a place that the pilot doesn't get out.
Yeah.
So
okay.
and then he would guard the tail, and like, but
He would
it's
guard
funny.
it.
It's funny as shit. He's sitting back there, and just
Little cigarette break.
yeah, he's just that. You ain't smoking inside. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, that's
Oh, it's funny as shit. Go ahead.
you know. Oh, do you have more? Go
I
ahead.
just have two more. The last two are designate an LZ commander, which I do think is important for being on the radio side of it. Is easier to have a designated channel and only one person that you are talking to.
What are you talking about?
It reminds me of our sexual LZ though. Every time you say that,
What
What?
do you
remember
think?
the LZ earlier,
Oh.
the Urban
Oh,
Dictionary?
fucking
You're like only
Bradley.
one commander.
His
Like-
brain is still one place.
You're
Yeah.
only talking to one person.
I'm gonna command somebody's LZ
Yeah.
later.
100 by 100. No,
It's gonna taste like maple syrup too.
There probably is.
Yes,
you're
I
going
like syrup.
I hop.
He loves syrup.
I love syrup, not jelly.
Although he wouldn't eat any pancakes today.
Jam note.
I had syrup before I got out of bed.
He did.
Last one, maintain complete landing zone security throughout arrival, scene, and departure.
Okay, so I have something that I picked up, doing some classes with like the air crews, right?
Yes,
Allegedly. And one of those things is holding the LZ for 5 minutes or whatever after
That's a
you
good
guys
point. Yes.
after you guys go. And it's actually in our SOGs. However, there's most people don't do it.
yeah.
And they just don't understand now correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that like the most dangerous time as you're lifting or
So
as
we
you're
lift, and the theory behind that is if we have a problem, we know it's a clear area to go back to.
Right.
So I'm saying holding that LZ and stuff like that for us is it's important because if he can
It
make a
should be.
pedal turn and come right back to where he's at, then that's the spot. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And land safely versus just falling out of the sky
Yeah.
somewhere else.
You know, and the other important thing to remember too is that a lot of times people go, well, you guys usually take off backwards. And the
Really?
reason for that is that we land in a certain direction.
because you can see.
We're going to lift in the same direction we came back in because we know that area is clear. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yep.
And then if you have a problem, remember we always land into the wind.
Yeah.
Because now he can pitch the road. If anything breaks, he can pitch the rotors and kind of glide right back into that spot.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point behind it.
Gotcha.
And that's why we do the certain things, and we do things a certain way, and it's all muscle memory on
Right.
these guys. These individuals that do this job are unbelievable human beings with the amount of small details that they have to keep in mind, that they have to do with it. And then listen, like this place is a little bit different than Europe. The Europeans fly 2 pilots, mostly everything. They're just now starting to take flights at night. They do nothing but mostly designated LZs.
Wow.
Here in the United States, we have a single pilot flying a 2-person helicopter and landing. One pilot
Yeah.
landing.
2-person helicopter.
Yes.
Landing in the middle of a field
I'm
with
just
power
saying.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the dark.
Yeah, in the dark with night vision goggles, and
Yeah.
you know, an old man maybe next to him wearing night vision goggles.
And
It
a
may
dude
allegedly
with
be
a-
working at night.
with
I
a
can't see.
flashlight on the ground.
How do you wear spectacles and night vision?
Can't see a goddamn thing. That guy, blind as hell, and he's the guy, you know. So you know, but this is the thing we're talking about here. It's unbelievably the greatest job in the world.
Yeah.
His
I
sonar
don't
is amazing.
I don't want anybody to go, man. I don't want to do this. I'm telling you what,
No,
greatest
of
fucking
course.
thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to sway anybody that wants to do
hopefully
it.
not. Hopefully not.
No
you know,
way.
hopefully
It
not.
doesn't matter.
But it is the right person and the right fit for the job. There's a lot of people that love the theory of being able to do this, and we see them come through class.
Right.
We see them come through class. They love the theory of being able to do the job, but they're not going to.
I mean, it's physically difficult.
It is absolutely physically difficult at
And
times.
I feel like that maybe sometimes programs should test that.
But, you know what, babe? Write that down, birthday buddy, because that's a fucking topic. Trish fucking stumbled upon it. It's this is something.
It is not
Deadlift.
it is not a job that you can just like decide that you're going to do. You have to physically be capable to do it.
I feel like that'll be a great echo topic
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with some future flight crew
Yeah.
people. And
Yep.
And I'll tell you this: that the brain to do this job is. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it right now
It's
here on the air.
different.
It's different.
It's very different.
It's different.
I don't
You-
think the brain is as much of
I get what you're saying.
thing to overcome as the physical ability.
Oh yeah, babe, you're right. You gotta
Because-
have the ability to last. Do it.
Because maybe we know some people that can't actually physically do the job.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that can't. You know, man.
I mean, I couldn't.
I feel
I
it
couldn't.
more.
There's no way.
There's
I
no
feel
fucking
it.
way I
I
could physically do the job.
I feel it more now than I've ever had.
I'm
man.
sure you do.
I couldn't even mentally do it.
it's-
I am
it's a
very
beating.
well aware.
Yeah, I know. I still come home and do my shit though. That I gotta do. You know, things get.
Every day?
Well, listen, I don't want to point any fingers and shit, but have you been getting your allotment the last few days?
The last few days I have.
Yeah, then that's all I want to know. I rest
Oh,
my
but
case. Your
man,
Honor.
there was like 12 days.
I wasn't here.
That I was not. I was not getting
here.
the physical
Well,
Oh my
allotment.
goodness.
Dick was not handy because I wasn't home.
You
I
can
didn't want to
tell.
answer the phone for either one of them.
So
Yeah.
Braylee sent me a picture that I'm going to put up here.
Oh,
No, not that one. This one.
No, no, the other one.
Yeah, that right
This is,
there.
That was not it.
where's this at, Braylee?
This is in Africa.
Oh,
that
you've
is
been
my,
there.
That is my favorite place in the world to be, is sitting in a pavehawk right in the door,
Yeah,
just
really
chilling out.
Those
Those
are-
actually are blue salamans that are all dirty up. I need to tell Salomon to
I don't know
give me a
what
new
to say.
pair.
Is that shoes?
Shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Shoes.
The seals were the.
You got to tell
blue
you got to
ones.
tell us normal people what your lingo.
We don't know.
You know, my favorite Braley
understand
picture
shoes.
is one of Braley into a mirror sitting on a I think it was a Crown
Look,
toilet made in Ohio. Look at that right
Was-
there.
was
Oh,
it- was
okay.
this it?
That is Braley.
I mean,
there.
I feel like that was a self-taken pic.
all right, so
I mean, look at the
I'm
leg
like-
muscle.
I'm like.
Did you see
I go
the
back.
phone that he was holding?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did it. I'm sitting
I
there.
woke up to that picture.
I'm sitting there,
my-
and
I just died.
you sit there on the toilet. You look over and like, why the hell do they have a mirror like height for handicaps? Like, what are they going to do with this? So I'm like, hey, Carlos.
I mean, at least he didn't ask you to come in to look.
No. But it wasn't as to far as the tissue paper on the shelf
Yeah,
at the urinal
yeah, absolutely.
with no holes in the wall.
You know, real quick with that, Brad. I want people to see this shit of Braley because we will go, man, what did Braley do before? This is the type of shit Braley did before. He's in helicopters,
No.
in
No,
the
not that
mil-
one. The other one.
in the
this one.
military.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh,
You know,
so
He did
wonderful.
some cool
he
shit.
did some
Yeah.
cool
He
shit.
knows some things.
You
He
know,
knows a lot of
I
things.
miss that.
he's got a lot of what have yous, whatnots. He's gonna be around. If you would like some more Braley, come see us at the Rescue
We will do
Company
it.
One.
Come
Awesome
see us at the
12
Rescue
lead.
Company one.
Hey, baby, before we leave, what you got to say to people?
Don't be an asshole and don't make up shit because that's fucked up.
Yes, things happened today. There were some things
And
that
I am
happened.
gonna fucking kick your ass if I ever see you again.
Not my ass.
Ooh.
People's.
I know.
None
Yeah,
of
you're
our
gonna see him
asses.
later. You'll see him.
None
later.
of your asses.
You know.
But these fuckers that are lying about me, I'm gonna kill them.
How do you hurt
I am
Trish?
rock hard right now. When she gets this thing, I guess like, you can't. A cat can scratch that shit down right now.
I mean,
That aggression.
I'm a little bit shorter, but
You
I can talk a mean fight,
You
like,
eat
I
pieces
can
of
get
shit
it
for
ready.
breakfast?
Do it.
and then you just go bam.
I will.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I will fucking kick. Listen,
Wait
you
till
let
I-
me
Got you.
see them again.
Amanda and
You
Trish is
let
like,
me
"What's up,
see
Spike?
those
What are we gonna
fuckers
do now,
again,
Spike? Come on,
and-
come on, Spike. Let's do it."
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I see a blow up pool with KY jelly.
Yeah.
There is nothing that pisses me off more than lying about
Oh, I
me.
hate a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Like I will fucking kill you.
well, that's
Come here and say that shit to my face.
closing words for Trish there.
All right.
And Brayley.
Yeah, I'm on the flip side, just like Trish says, just be good to each other, be kind, help people out, open a door. It's amazing. Open a door for someone. They're so grateful. That's how little we have that kindness in the country.
Let me tell you how refreshing it is when you have a Brayley with you everywhere you go. Hey, the man is positive about shit. Brayley, tell people about the potatoes at the place we were at.
Holy
for breakfast.
shit. Breakfast was
I've never seen some man be more happy about hash browns other than probably the hippo and you.
Open the elevator
I love
door, we
breakfast.
smell, and we're like, that's bacon,
Oh,
that's potatoes.
Jason, you would enjoy this place we stayed at.
Oh,
Oh, breakfast every morning. We
It
had
was
two
free.
meats. We had one day we had two meats.
Oh,
Two
wow.
meats.
You're
We're at-
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Hawthorne
Thank
Sweets,
you.
Palm Beach County. We love you.
Yeah.
We will be back for the two meats and potatoes. You know, it's so many.
I woke up at 6:30 for breakfast.
Hey.
I never do that.
Hey, Brayley goes,
We didn't even talk about when we went down there.
oh, we would not. Oh, yes. Oh, let me tell the story real quick.
All right.
So there we are. Brayley goes down
There
to
we are.
get something from his car, and you know
There we are.
who has to have medicine before they go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
So
Ooh,
you,
And you.
no, I'm talking about you. So
and you.
I'm just the dude that has to perform the deed, and
I'm
then
the
What was I
dude
wearing?
who's playing the dude.
you were wearing
About another
you know,
dude.
you're wearing the things. And anyways, how to do the job real quick because somebody was coming right back up, and then we like we were in middle school throwing blankets over. What? I got caught doing something wrong. When Brayley
I
comes
still get
back
caught
in,
up, jump in bed. I have no idea what's going on.
he has no idea.
No,
It's
there could have been a
hilarious.
circus clowns over there. I'm just
Yes.
like,
No,
breakfast,
anyways,
breakfast is in 4 hours.
Jason, what you got, man?
They're both
All right.
snoring.
The biggest thing I have is just to make sure that you're helping out your flight crews. Make sure you're keeping your eyes open for them. We want to make sure that everything is safe for them, and they can't see a lot of things that we can see.
Yeah,
So
look
take-
up.
Yeah, just take us an extra second to help out.
Yeah, look up. You know, contrary to popular belief, hard ground is awesome. I do love when certain places there are allegedly A County, and we're gonna land you in this field because we've got these giant trucks parked in the spot where you can land. Put your shit in the field. Let us land in the hard fucking concrete. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck. God, I'm sorry, just allegedly. I'm speaking allegedly.
Allegedly.
So, but hey,
Oh, it's been a long couple weeks.
Good
but
to see you again.
It is. Yes, don't be an asshole. Be kind. Also, don't kill your kids if you are having some issues. There is
Yeah.
help. Let's yes, like we will help you. We will help your kids. We will help your family. Whatever it has to be, there is help out there. People are not alone. They need to understand that and ask for help.
yeah, absolutely. You know, you can surrender your kids at the fire stations. Those are safe areas, schools. You know, look for the yellow sign.
Yes.
Yeah, the yellow signs and stuff like that. All kidding around aside, you know, we do have these safe places you can turn your kids into.
What was it? How many years ago was it now? Danny, back before he was a battalion chief, there was a baby surrendered at a fire station. Years later, he was reunited with her
Oh,
back
man,
at
that's
the fire
awesome.
station
That's an
with
awesome
her
story.
adoptive family, and it was
What a great
so
story.
awesome.
That's a great story right there.
And she has got the best life. She's the sweetest little girl.
Yeah, you
It
know,
was awesome.
thank you for that person. Thank you for that person doing that. You know,
Yes.
because unbelievable. You know, the amount of mistreated kids out there. You know, it's a big topic right now with the whole abortion things changing, the whole thing. You know, there's a lot out there right now, and the times are dangerous. You know, things are, you know, moving pretty fast right now, and we're having to do a lot with less, busier times, and you have to keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes where they need to be, pay attention when you're at work, and if you ain't ready to be at work, fucking don't go, because you're gonna kill somebody. You know. Till the next time, fuck yourself. Bye.